Hey everybody, this is Dave coming to you from the Gaming Cave. Today we're continuing our playthrough of Enemy Action Kharkov, Popov versus Manstein 1943. We're using the German solo rules and we're going to begin turn 4. So in order to save us a little time, you guys don't need to see it the same every time, I went ahead and did a couple steps. One, I went ahead and moved all the reinforcements out. The Soviets only had the first guard, but the Germans had several different units stacked. So the Germans are starting to get their reinforcements now. Well, that's going to be a boost to them. Okay, so we set that. As you can see, the Soviets have 18 victory points so far. The group Popov has gotten way down into the southwest area of the map, but the Germans still hold Kharkov, which has been key. Without that, we'd be in danger of losing this game. So right now we're just hanging on here, trying to see what we can do. Okay, and we're going to have to start seeing what we can do here to I really would like to break through up here and get this thing dislodged so I can start reacting down here this way a little bit. And I'm trying to get that 3rd Tank Army. The way they're structured right now, they're not doing a very good job of attacking, so it's kind of turned into a stalemate a little bit there. So we'll see what happens as we start to get into our reinforcements. I've already shuffled the Soviet deck, and I went ahead and added, there were 4 game turn 4 cards for the Germans that went into the supplementals. There was actually 1 direct or primary card, and the other 3 were supplementals. So I shuffled the supplementals that were there, added them to the 5 cards to my primary deck, which now has 6 cards in it, and that gives us that hand. I haven't drawn my cards there yet, so we will go ahead and draw the 5. Our hand size is 5 for this turn. So 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5, and that will be our starting hand. Might as well take a quick look at it and see what we got. 3rd Corps, 48th Corps, Corps Rau, 2nd SS Panzer Corps, and another Corps Rau. Okay, so not a bad start. What I want to do is get my reserves out here and start loading this thing up and starting to knock these guys back, I hope. At least that's my intention. Okay. So, the other thing that I did was, starting turn 4, we placed garrison units, and the garrisons get placed by Rule 15.1 in all their victory points that are still in supply, and because they still have a road that comes down through here, they are in supply. So I kept all these garrison units around now. They're starting to fill in where they've had victory points. And then these little brown squares, like right here, those are villages. So they can also have garrisons in them if they're in proximate of the Soviets and not adjacent to a German. So we do have a couple of those down here that we've put in also. So I think I got all the garrisons set now. I hope I got it right. Nobody's out of supply right now. And so now we go into our Soviet impulse. So we draw 2 cards, 1 and 2. And they have primary is the 3rd Tank Army, and in KVD is their auxiliary card. Okay, so activate all units in the 3rd Tank Army. Alright, the nice thing is they're kind of tied up except for this, they're all engaged. And so that's what's creating the problem for the Soviets, because they can't get themselves, they don't have enough strength the way they came in there. So we're going to start, we'll have to start adding again. There's 2, 4, 9, and 8 is 17. That's 20 to 10. So that's 2 to 1 there. They're still trying to get into Kharkov at 2 to 1. We know that they don't have any replacements for the 3rd Tank Army, so there's nobody that can add to the attack. And so they won't move anywhere because they stay and they're trying to get that VP hex. So at 2 to 1, they do have a chance to attack. And they get a command value of 3. So they're going to have, that gives them 3 plus 2 for their situational strength is 2 to 1. So that's 5. They can, they're not the only unit with armor. The attackers are not surrounded. They can't flank a city. They get +1 because that's a VP hex, so that gets them to 6. And they do get their combat tactics, so that's a 7. So they do get to attack. Okay. So now for their chip pulls, they only have 1, 2, 3, 4 chits, plus their tactic gives them 5 chits on their chip pull. And I'm trying to decide if I want to use a tactic or not. Man, I think I do. It will, is that what I want to do? No, you know what, at 2 to 1, I don't think he's, well, I don't want to get dislodged. Okay, this is so critical. I'm going to use my tactic, his screen. So he had 1, 2, 3, 4 chits to pull, +1's 5, and the screening tactic by the Germans is reduce maximum allowed chit by 2, so he goes from 6 to 4. Okay. So he's got 4 chits, he's at 2 to 1. Alright, let's see what we get. He gets attacker command of 5. No, it's a 3. Dispersed or unsupplied. No, it's no effect. He gets German air power or Soviet not supported. No. Soviet air power. No. It's 2 down. Greater than or equal to 2 to 1? Yes. Less than 1.5 to 1? No. So there's 1, and that's the green kit, so it's going to, everything's going to go back into this main cup. And their final chit is city or attack not supported. Yes. Clear no. So they're in the city, so that nullifies their loss. Okay, so that nullifies the loss, so the screen tactic definitely helps. And the NKVD tactic for the Soviets attack, increase hits incurred by the defender by 1. Well, he didn't take any hits, and combat chits applied. Okay, so no effect. Alright, so all these chits, and they go back into the main cup because they're the first ones. So nothing happened there. So he wasn't able to dislodge those guys. This guy here is at 2. He's not going to be able to attack. These guys are 7. And 5 is 12 to 4. So he's 3 to 1 right there. So at 3 to 1, their combat is Combat values of 3. They get 2, that's 5. And this is only 1 victory point, so they don't get anything there. They don't flank. And they get the tactics, so that's 6. So he only gets 6, so he does not attack. So they continue to just hold right here. Alright, so that's all of 3rd Tank Army. So no change. Alright, I now have 4 cards, so I get to draw 1. I get a 5th card. So I'm going to deploy all 2nd SS Panzer Corps reserves. I have 1, 2, and a 1-step unit. Okay, so they get deployed. I have to be see. Empty your garrison in Soviet resupply. Oh, that's the Soviets. Gotta find my Germans. Within the unit's army area, okay, in a supply head hex or clear hex adjacent to a supply head, at least 3 hexes away from a non-isolated enemy unit, town, or city, and 3 hexes of the unit in the same corps. All right. So I've got unit number 1. It's got to be 3 hexes away and within 3 of mine. So 1, 2. He's got a 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. Okay, so he can come in here. And then my next guy has got to be. He's going to come in here. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, and then this guy can come in here. So those guys are now deployed. Alright, so I got my SS units are coming up here. We're going to see if we can't bolster. My objective here is where I place these guys is to bolster this guy up and see if I can't push these guys out of here. Or maybe even get a run up here at this 6th Army guy and see if I can eliminate him and then come across the river and see if we can do some damage over here with these guys. So got a little attack plan trying to get my SS group going up here. So we'll see how that works out. Okay, now for the Soviet cards. He gets 2 cards. He gets the Mobile Group Popov, which is the primary, and 3rd Tank is the tactics. Turn 1 to 5, it adds a tank brigade. Activate all unit groups in Popov, so they are all down here. So now we'll see what they're going to do. Take a VP hex. Enter a empty German town or city unless exclusive target of an inactive front. So we're looking at our lowest numbered guys. So we have a 1 right here. So he can come 1, 2, 3. Oh, that's already taken. Alright. So they don't have 1 to take. Alright. A German VP hex and near objective. So now they want to come this direction. Move to a hex closer to or within 4 hexes of the front objective and adjacent to a German VP hex. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That gets him there. So he goes 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So he's getting up here. He would do the same thing. So those 2 units, and that's moving their front objective. That's the Voronas. Hey, I've lost my 40th Army. Oh, I think I got down here and took care of my final objective down there. So, Oh, hang on there. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Put them two guys back over here for a minute. Okay, I'm kind of looking at what these guys do now, because I think that they're not going to move. The problem they're getting ready to have on the next turn is they're outside of their operational front area, so I believe they're going to end up coming back, but they're in this dark orange and not the more lighter orange, so they wouldn't move over this way because that's out of their operational area too. So I believe these units are not going to move right now. They've taken their victory points down here, and I don't believe they're going to go anywhere any farther. There's nowhere else for them to go, and they won't go this way. So I believe they're going to stay there, and they do not move. Well, that's the way I'm going to play it, because that's, as near as I can tell, that's my understanding of it. Okay, I have 1, 2, 3, 4. I need a 5th card. And I get 3rd Corps. And that 3rd Corps, I want to activate. Yes, I think so too. So I'm going to activate this deploy all 3rd Corps reserves. So I have quite a large stack down here of 3rd Corps reserves. And so these guys are going to deploy up here. 1, 2, 3, they can come back to here. So I'm going to deploy an infantry unit right here. And then I want my armor units. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. So they need to be back here or down here. 2, 3. I think I'm going to put them here. 1, 2, 3. Right there. 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 And my infantry unit here. Or here. Yeah, I think up here. Okay. All right. Oh my gosh. Here I was doing it again without the camera. Okay. Sorry about that, guys. So here's what I did. I deployed my 3rd Corps up here. One in the city, one here, and then these guys 3 hexes. They got to be 3 hexes away, so they did that. They're within their 3 hexes of their own unit core. Once they get that first guy in, then they can spread farther out. So now I've got my armor. I've got all these guys, and they've been deployed. So that works. So now we'll go to the Soviet cards. He gets Mobile Group Popov and Southwestern Front, and they're both auxiliary cards, so he is the higher command. So the Southwestern Front, it's turn 4 to 7. Activate Army and Southwestern Front with most supplied units on map and in reserve plus stacked units. Okay, so I do believe it's going to be this 3rd Tank Army. They have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. Nobody's stacked with them, but nobody else has that many, so that is the biggest army in the Southwestern Front. So they're going to activate again, and they're going to try again to see if they can punch these guys. They didn't have enough to have the combat. He doesn't have enough, and they're at 2 to 1 right here. So I don't have to go through all the odds again. Let's see if I need a support card here. I think I might play these guys, my defenders, with a tactic of artillery. These guys have a combat tactic of air power and partisans. And anything else? No. So they've got their tactic, and partisans is going to mean what? Soviet tactics. Intelligence partisan. Soviet attack. If attacking a city hex, reduce Soviet hits by 1 and increase German hits by 1. Okay, so if they got the right card there, I'm going to play I said artillery, but now I'm thinking, you know what? Instead of artillery, I'm playing air power. I need to see if I can offset them. So I'm going to play air power on these guys and see what happens here. Okay, so they're going to have again 1, 2, 3, 4, and they get their tactics, which is 5. Okay, so they're going to get all 5 chits this time. One, 2, 3, 4. That's right. That makes 5. Okay, here we go. And I have air power for the Germans. Let's see what we get. All right, here we go. First chit is NKVD. No. Greater than 5 to 1. No. So that one doesn't count. Second one is NKVD. Woo, got rid of that thing. Greater than 3 to 1. No. They're only at 2 to 1. Next chit. Flank attack. No. 1 hex attack or city. Yes. Fourth chit. Greater than 4 to 1. No. Less than 3 to 1. Yes. And last chit is, it's the green one. Attacker artillery? No. Defender artillery? Yes. All right. And all my chits will go back into the cup again. Okay, so partisans was reduce Soviet hits by 1 and increase German hits by 1. Okay, so that'll get offset. The increase right here gets offset by the D-1. So no effect on the defenders, and lose 1, so he takes 1 hit. Okay, assigning hits to Soviet attackers. First hit, remove a step. Alright, it should come from armor first or a large unit. He has an armor, so it gets flipped. So that helps. He's getting banged up over here. He was already reduced. Alright, and that's it. That one comes off. Okay, so my air power didn't do anything for me. So we're down to 3 cards. So I draw 2, 4, and 5. Gotta get these 2 off the board. Alright, so I want to I'm going to deploy this corps now. The 48th Corps is going to deploy their reserves. Okay, so I have 3 armor units, and they will be deploying over here. So 3 hexes away. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, so he can come in here. 1, 2, 3. And then he needs to be 1 hex close to the road. So 1, 2, 3, we're good there. And same thing right here. Okay. So I deployed those guys. You can see what's getting ready to happen up here if I get a chance. We're getting ready to move in on these cats and see if we can't do a little damage here. That's my hope anyway. Alright. Okay, back to the Soviets. 2 cards. 40th Army, primary card is Varana's Front, so that's the first one. He's the primary. 69th Army, So activate all units in that army. Okay, well those guys are way up here. They haven't had much action. They haven't been doing much, so this is their chance here. So let's see what they're going to do. Take a VP hex. Nope. Adjacent to a German VP hex. Nope. Open supply line. Nope, they're good there. Cause a surround. Nope. To a Soviet VP hex, move to an empty or garrison Soviet VP hex. Nope, they can't get there either. Adjacent to a German VP hex, nope. Okay, so we're going to get down to follow movement arrows. Alright. And this follow movement arrows is in ascending order. So we have 14, 13, 12, 11, and 10. So he's going to be first. Alright, his arrow says he goes 1, 2, 3, 4, and they're all going to go, that stack goes there. And this guy is going to go 1, 2, 3, 4, and 1, 2, 3, 4. All right, so he split off. Okay. All right. Germans have 4 cards. We draw them a card. 4th Panzer Army. We are going to activate all units in the 48th Panzer Corps. Now I can activate these guys because deploying reserves do not count as an activation for them. So they're active now. So now we're going to have a little action. Our plan is to come up here and try to dislodge these guys off of here and see if we can't create something going on up here. So we have, let's see, 1, 2, and it cost me 3 into the woods, so he can go 1, 2, and he's in. This guy is coming up here. He can go 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 4. And I got these 2 units here that can come up here. 1, he's in, and 1, 2, 3, he's in. Okay, so bringing my boys up. Sorry again. I'm like, I want to get moving. Okay, so I brought in all these units now, and we're actually flanking this guy. And my deal is to try to push him up and out of there and create me some relief here at Kharkov with that 3rd Tank Army. That's what I wanted to do anyway. Alright, so we're going to draw a Soviet card for their tactic, and they have, the tactic is artillery. Okay, so they're going to have artillery support. I'm not using any tactic. I don't think I am, not for that unit probably. I'm going to be 3, 6, 8, 13, 15, 18 to 2. That's 9 to 1. Yeah. I've got 2, 3, 4. He doesn't count. 5. So I have 5 chits to pull. I'm at 9 to 1. Okay, and I got to pull 1 chit for sure. And it is shoot. Attacker artillery, no. Defender artillery, yes. So he gets the first hit on me, or less a hit on him. Okay, I'm pulling the other 4 chits. Here we go. Flank attack. in this case, yes. Come on, focus up. There we go. Flank attack. 1 hex attacker city. No. So I got a flank attack on him. Third one is greater than 1.5 to 1. Yes. Less. No. That sucked. I took a hit. 3. Next one. Greater than 4 to 1. Yes, and that's the primary. 4. One more. I need something to relieve that. Hit. City attacker. Only armor attacker. Yes. Only defender armor. No. Okay. Well, I think that guy's going to be eliminated. I have to take 1 hit off of my guys. Off an armor unit. But I get 1, 2, 3, 4, minus 1. So that's going to be 3 hits. 3 hits. And so we're coming to Soviet defenders. And the Soviet defenders, if defender can't retreat, he can. Number of hits remaining greater than equal to number of steps, retreat 1 hex. So he retreats 1 hex. That takes off a hit. I'm still at 2 to 1. He retreats the 2nd hex, which is there. That's a hit, and then his 3rd hit is a step loss, so he's eliminated. Alright. I got rid of my 1st of the 3rd tank army out of there. I have to take a hit with an armor unit. I'm going to take it on this guy right here. And now I can advance some of these units into there. He's going to advance. He's going to advance. And I think that's all I can advance. Yeah, that's 5. Okay, these guys won't advance. Okay. Alright, so I punched them out of there. Whew. Alright, here comes the Soviets. They get Popov, Southwestern Army. Higher command number goes to the Southwestern Army. Activate all units in the 6th Army. Okay, so 6th Army. There's not much on the board right now, but he does have units here that I believe can come out and be part of that. So let me check on that. Okay, so the first thing, yes, they will come out. First thing we do is see what these guys are going to do. The 3 units that are out here, I have 3, 4, and 13 over there. Take a VP hex. There's none for them to take. Okay. Adjacent to a German VP and near an objective. So their objective is down here, but it's not within 4 hexes. 2, 3, 4, so they don't get there. Cause surround. Now he can't cause surround. Okay. To a Soviet VP hex. Move to an empty or garrison Soviet VP hex targeted for active front to which German unit is proximate. Well, I don't have that. Okay. Adjacent to a German VP hex. Nope. Adjacent to a German unit and logistics hex. Oh, I might be able to do that. Let's check that. Move adjacent to an unsurrounded German unit in logistics hex for active front. Prefer hex A with least German strength, easternmost. So he can move. And this one is a descending. 1, 2, 3. He can't get there. This guy can. 1, 2, 3. He gets there. And the other guy, let's see if there's another limit to that. Let's see, move adjacent to unsurrounded German unit in logistics hex for active front. With least German strength, easternmost. Don't move by any method except 9.25. Okay. 1, 2, 3. He moves there, and now they have an attack able to do there. And so my reserve units can come out gotta find it again. These guys come in as methods front supplied. Hook them up here, conduct protect. Place active reserve units on the map. Place one at a time. Hex is eligible for placement if all true. Village or Soviet town targeted by active front. Empty or garrison. In Soviet reserve supply, not adjacent to a Soviet Union unit unless a VP hex if village hex unit within current operational limit. Okay, so what I was looking for, in turn 3 they could join an attack as the reserves, but in turn 4 they can't. They have to, they'll go into Soviet towns or empty or garrisoned areas. First thing we do then is resolve this, and then we'll set our reserve units out. Okay, so 6th Army right here, he is 8-3, so that is 2-1. Okay, so that is command value is a 3. He is a 5. Soviet support 5. Flanking, no. Target hex, no. Tactics, yes, 6. But he doesn't get enough, so he will not attack. So now we bring out the Soviet reserve units. So here we have 2 units, number 1 and 2. Okay. Now the problem they got here is this German unit blocked off. These guys are going to have a supply problem now because this is your German occupied, and they just took this road hex in this logistics hex. And so they're blocking the supply now, I believe, in there. Okay. Place one at a time, descending order. Village or Soviet town targeted by active front, empty or garrisoned, in Soviet reserve supply. Not adjacent to a Soviet unit, and if a village hex unit would not be nearly surrounded within current operational limit. So I believe number 2 is going to take this garrison spot right here. And number 1 is going to take this garrison spot up here. And that's where they come in. Okay, I've got 4 cards, and I'm drawing my last one, and it is this 57th Corps. Now, before I jump off of there, this guy, I didn't do anything with him because I moved those guys up. Adjacent to a unit, to an unoccupied, adjacent to a Soviet unit, and not adjacent to a Soviet, to the same German unit. Okay, so he could move 1, 2, 3, 4, and puts him adjacent to that unit. So what we're doing is trying to delay these guys. Maybe the death of him. All right. I'm going to deploy the 57th Panzer Corps. I'm going to deploy all of his reserves. He has 3, and they are 3 smaller armor units. So we're getting these guys out here, and I have a 57th Corps unit up here. So I need to be 2, 3 away from him. So I'm going to put in this guy right here. See, 1, 2, 3. I can come back to this side and right here. Okay. So I deployed them. So we'll draw 2 Soviet cards. We get 69th Army. And we get Southwestern Front. They are both auxiliary cards, and 69th Army has the higher command. It is turn 1 to 2, no. Turn 5, no. Activate all units in the Army. Okay. So 69th Army gets activated. We know from their last turn they're going to move with their arrows, I think. 1, 2, 3. He can't move because he can't use all of his movement points. He can't cross the river right there. It hasn't become the minor river. So the question is 1, 2, 3. They can't move. Well, he can move into there because there's only 2 guys there, so he can stack in there with him. So this was, that is adjacent to a German unit. Can't do that if it's already in a hex by another unit. Okay, can't follow the movement arrows. Closest to the front objective. So that's the front objective. So they're trying to get down to there now. Move to a hex closer to the front objective. So he can move 2, 3, 4. He could move to there. Puts him adjacent to a German, which is okay. So, move to a hex closer to a front objective, closest to objective, adjacent to German occupied hex with least strength. Well, these guys have a strength of 4. He would move 1, 2, 3. That puts him adjacent there. Now, strengthen a potential attack. If not adjacent to a German unit, move to a hex adjacent to German unit to which another unit is already adjacent. So these guys, they can all move right there. 1, 2, 3. He follows the arrows, and this guy is going to follow the moving arrows. 1, 2, 3, and 4. He moves in there. Okay, so they may have a chance here at this route unit. Available tactics is rifle brigade. Well, they already have rifles, so he has 2, and 9 is 11 to 4, and the river is going to cause them a problem. 11 to 4 is 2 to 1. So I don't think they have enough to attack at 2 to 1. That's 2. Yeah, they're not going to have enough. That's not a VP hex. They will not attack. Okay. All right. So I have my core RAL right here, which I think I'm going to have to withdraw somebody out of here, or I do have a reserve. I'm going to deploy my core RAL reserves. and I have 1. So 3 away from the Soviets. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. Yeah, he can go right there. And I think that objective's going to move because of us being adjacent to it. I'll have to check that at the end of this turn. Alright, 2 cards for the Soviets. 6th Army, it's primary. 1st Guards Army is auxiliary. Activate all units in the 6th Army. Alright. Well, they're all up against somebody. So the only chance you have, well, no. I got those 2 units way up there in the corners. Now they're going to get a chance to move. Okay. So he's moving to 6. He can move adjacent to a German VP hex, adjacent to a German unit. Adjacent to a German unit. Yep. So 1, 2, 3, 4. He moves there. This guy's going to move following the arrows. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So he's coming down this side to offer some support. He's an armor unit. Okay. He is 3 to 5. He won't attack. These guys are 2 to 1, but they don't have enough to attack. Alright, now I've got 50th Corps, Corps Rau, and my 4th Panzer Army. So I think I will do 4th Panzer Army. Activate my 4th Panzer Army. Ooh. And trying to decide if I want to go after another group down here. Move my SS up into here. What's he got there? He's a 5, but I'm attacking across the river. This guy's a 7. That makes him tough. Or, yeah, so, or I take this guy out down here too, which I could do. Or I'm looking up here. I think I'll activate my SS Panzer Army. He's going to go 1, 2, 3, 4. And then I have this guy who can move up here with him. Right there. That gives me 12 to 2, which is 6 to 1. And I get, that's a large unit, that's 2, 4. So I get 4 chits for my pull. Okay, he pulls a tactic of fixed artillery. So fixed artillery is a range of 4 from their barrage area. 1, 2, 3, 4. So I'm outside of that, so he won't get anything with that one. All right. So I'm 6 to 1. I got to pull 2 chits, and I have a maximum of 4. First chit is city, attack or non-supported. Nope. Town, woods, or broken. Yeah, he's in the woods. Dang. So that reduces his hit. Next one. German air power, no. Soviet air power, no. So that one didn't do anything. So I'm drawing my other 2 now. This is greater than 4-1, yes. Less than 3-1, no. So there's a hit, so we're even now. One more. And we get greater than 5-1, yes. All right. That one comes off. All right, so no hits on me, and this one nullifies this one, so it's 2 hits. So Soviet Defender, if number of hits remaining, which is 2, is greater than or equal to number of steps, he retreats 1. Okay, so he retreats 1. Oh, he can't retreat without taking a hit. If Defender can't retreat, apply hit as a step loss. So his first hit is a step loss. Yeah, I got him because I got him surrounded. His second hit, even if he retreated. Yep, so we got him. All right, so I got him at the very end of that one. Got rid of that unit. Okay, and I can advance. 1, 2. This guy's going to go 1, 2. That guy's going to stay right there. Okay. All right. Get that 6th Army out of there. Out of my way. All right, Soviets get 2 cards. He's got a 40th Army. If we're on his front, that's the auxiliary card. Activate all units in the Army. And he's got reserves that can come on the board. Okay. So these guys are over here. We know they're engaged there. So we think there might be some action happening up here. So let's see what this guy's doing. He can take a VP hex. This is in descending order. They can't get there. He's going to take the VP hex. That's 1 VP. Okay. So we're going to come down here and move this up to 19 now. And he gets the VP hex. I'm going to remark these up here as VP hexes because I don't want to forget them. And just so I don't forget, I'm going to place this here. And I want to look at one other thing on this activation. Make sure I didn't forget to do this. Upon unit's first activation, if any Soviet enters the marker's hex and remove Army objective marker. Okay, yep, so it stays where it's at. All right. Okay, so he moved, he took the victory point hex. Adjacent to 1, no, let's see, cause surround, 2, it's going to cost him 2 to get there, 3, 4. He can cause surround because he is going to be surrounded, so that's what they're going to do. Prefer a hex causing surround of most units adjacent to a surrounded unit, preventing German supply trace. Do not adjust. So, not adjacent to us. I can't be adjacent to him. So I'm not. So he moves, and this is in descending. These 3. Oh, he's the only guy there. 2, 3, 4. They cause surround. All right. Now, 4, 7 to 4. So he's less than 2 to 1. His combat card is a 2. He's not going to have enough to attack these guys. All right. Okay. That's it for the 40th Army. I still have 2 cards left. I want to what am I going to do up here? Those guys are in big trouble. I got my 50th Corps, 5-3. Can't get away from him now. He's got me tied up. I can move away from him, but that doesn't help my guys. Well, it might if I put him into this village here. Crossing that river though is 2, and breaking away from him is 2, so that's like 4. And he's going into the broken terrain, so that's like 6. So I can break him here, but I can't get him where I wanted to get him to. Okay, so that's really not what I want to do there. I'm going to let me see something. I have an event that I could play. OKW Expedites. German units, not cards, scheduled to become available as reserves on turn 6 are instead available on turn 5. I'm going to play that card. It's only good on turn 4. And those expedites. So that means that these reserves from turn 6 are now available here in turn 5. So I'm bringing up the troops. Okay. He has 2 cards. 6th Army, Popov, they're the same. 6th Army is the lower number, it's 12 versus 19. So activate up to 2 units in the 6th Army. 2 unit stacks and all, not a VP hex, and all Army reserves. He doesn't have any. Prefers supplied, not surrounded, highest strength, most units, lowest selector. So I would say it's the 2 armor units. He's not going to be able to attack or move, so that's the only one over here that's going to do anything. He would move by the arrows. 1, 2, 3. And he's kind of not able to go. 1, 2, 5. He can't get into there. What's his hex? It's clear. 1, 2, 3, 4. He can't go there because it's overstacked. That's not a resupply. So I think he's going to move closest to his objective for his movement. And it will be refer closest to the objective, adjacent to a German occupied hex, empty hex. Okay, his objective's down here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So he's coming around, trying to get down there to the objective. All right, I have 1 unit left, my Rao. He is going to, what's he going to do? Pass. I can't move him. He's in trouble. I'll tell you what, he's going to, what's his strength? 4. He can attack this guy, and we're at 1-to-1 odds. So he's attacking him, and see if he can break out of this at 1-to-1 odds. I get 1 chit, and he gets a tactic of intelligence, air power, and reinforce the battle. So now I'm less than 1-to-1. Let's see what this 1 chit's going to be. It is in KVD, no. Greater than 3-1, no. That's it. All right, we've reached the end because the Soviet draw pile is now empty. Okay, well, we made it to the end of the turn. Let's do our end of turn check for victory levels. So victory is greater than 24 is a defeat on me. Well, he's got 19, so we didn't get there, and he's not less than 12. Okay. Return all combat chits to the cup. So they're all back now. Remove dispersed and forward support markers. Don't have any. Check garrison markers in villages for removal. None of those are going to remove. Remove all Soviet objective markers from play. That's turn 7. Okay, well that's the end of this turn. Alright, so that's the end of turn 4. We'll be going into turn 5 next. And I got a lot of reserves coming again against the Soviets who don't have very many. We'll see what we can do here to help these guys out. And who knows? Yeah, you know, the reserves I'm starting to build up, and I'm starting to chip away now over here by Kharkov, and that's a big deal for me. If I break that 3rd Tank Army out of there, I can start getting my victory points back, and then I can drive for the victory. Okay, even with Popov down here having spearheaded through, but they're off by themselves, it's not doing them a lot of good right now. Alright, I hope you enjoyed it. If you're new to the channel, please subscribe. If you liked the video, give me a thumbs up. I'll see you guys on the next one. Everybody have a good one.